The world is once again witnessing a massive surge in COVID numbers. Even countries like America, who had officially announced to go mask-free up till recently, have now rolled back to masking up. Has the third wave arrived in India? The short answer, according to experts, is yes. It's almost here.
A phase 3 is inevitable given the high levels of circulating virus, but it's not clear on what time scale this phase 3 will occur. Hopefully, incrementally, but we should prepare for a new wave. Previous infections and vaccines will cause adaptive pressure on the virus for new kinds of changes which try to escape, and therefore we should be prepared scientifically to take care of that.
The Delta variant has become a variant of concern for countries across the world, and it is this variant that is behind a potential relapse as well. Let us now take a look at some stats and data to help us understand how the world is once again grappling with this pandemic. It has been almost a year and a half since the onset of the pandemic, and now the world is grappling with this highly transmissible Delta variant, which was first detected in India in October last year, as per the WHO. Meanwhile, across US, Europe, Africa and in Asia, the Delta variant has once again caused a resurgence of the virus. What's peculiar about the Delta variant is that its transmissibility. It's one of the most transmissible variants of SARS-CoV-2 and the coronavirus behind the COVID pandemic that was first detected in China's Wuhan in late 2019. In the past 3 weeks, the US has now reported a whopping 148% spike in the number of COVID cases, mainly on account of the Delta variant. Meanwhile, China too is now riding the crest of the new surge due to the Delta variant, with 27 cities reporting new infections. The Chinese media, meanwhile, is calling it one of its worst outbreaks since Wuhan. In Australia, lockdown extensions have been announced in Sydney and Brisbane, and the military has been brought in to implement stay-at-home orders. If you now notice, all these three countries had claimed to have tamed the virus. Case in point, the soundbite and announcement by President Joe Biden asking vaccinated people to go mask-free and then rolling it back as well. The virus in its Delta variant is 50% more transmissible than the original Alpha variant of the virus. Delta is one of the 4 variants of concerns as listed by the WHO, and these are also variably deemed to be more resistant to the current available vaccines and treatments as well, and could also cause more severe infections in some cases. About 65 countries have now reported detecting the Delta variant till about August 5th across the world, and the fears remain that the new waves of COVID could be lurking just beneath the surface. Meanwhile, the Delta variant has not spared even the countries that have some of the highest vaccination rates in the world. Israel has reported to have vaccinated about 61% of its population, is once again reporting an increase in COVID cases. Over the past 1 month, the Delta variant has become a dominant variant in the country as well. Now, Israel has started administering a booster shot for its 60-plus aged population. Yet, the vaccination process has been uneven across the world, with some of the developing and more low-grade nations still lagging behind due to lack of COVID vaccines. And amid this, WHO has now asked wealthy countries to stop administering booster shots and distribute the same to those countries who are in need. Yet, according to experts, this is not the last such variant we might be hearing of. We could see many more such variants coming up in the future, because this is what viruses do. They evolve, they mutate and become more transmissible, and we might have to learn to live with it as well. In the past few weeks, India has also reported a steady rise in number of cases touching over 40,000 per day. While this is still a short of the alarming 4 lakh daily figure that the country touched during the second wave, but does this mean we become more complacent and live carefree? The simple answer is no. This is because the experts, while reckon that the third wave may not be as deadly as the second wave is, it cannot be taken casually. We need to continue to take those precautions and get vaccinated as early as possible. As soon as there was some respite from the horrifying second wave, we saw people rushing towards the northern hill stations, completely ignoring protocols, in most cases good sense as well. Now, apart from the Delta variant, there is also the Delta Plus variant, also known as the AY BA.1 and designated as the variant of concern in India, which has caused at least one death in Mumbai so far. The variant was first identified in Europe and is believed to have originated in Nepal, descending from the Delta variant of B1617. The Delta Plus variant has been detected in over 10 countries so far across the world, including the UK, the US, Canada, Russia and Japan as well. Now, in the end, the number one question that we all have in our minds and what we all want to know about is, when will this virus and all its variants finally go away? And can this virus ever be eradicated from the world? The answer to this is still unclear. But according to the scientific community, there is a possibility that we will have to learn to live with it. It might not be the pandemic that it is today, but could certainly become like any other disease-causing virus or condition that we will have to learn to cope with. Till then, stay safe and take all precautions necessary.